And if you want to know what they look like side by side, quite a bit of difference. Quite a bit. RPM has really taken advantage of every little space they can to increase the capacity of that fuel tank. What's up, everybody? We are wrapping up a very busy weekend here at the Hoover Maneuvers Fun Park. We had some install videos going on. We snuck in a ride yesterday. We got rained on. We lost power at the house for like 12 hours, more than 12 hours, almost 18 hours. Anyway, we are back. We are working on the Mav R today, and man, this thing's looking good. I can't wait for dune season to start. We've got a fun project. This is one I've been looking forward to. We're going to put an oversized fuel tank in there. Ba-boom! Can Am Powersports oversized tank. This thing's cool. This thing's really neat. Looking at it here, very well built. I've got it propped up on my rugged radio right now, but I wanted to show you that the sump where the fuel pump goes, that's the lowest point. So everything should drain to it pretty well. We are going from roughly 12.5 to 13 gallons up to 19 gallons with this buddy. So looking forward to that. Anyway, we've got to get things ready for the install, and first part of the install is removing a bunch of body panels. So I'm not going to walk you through all of that. You guys have been through that before, but I'm going to show you which body panels have to come off. So all of this is off from a previous project, so I just left it off, but this has to come off. Same thing on the other side's got to come off. This piece all the way around comes off. Got to take these kick panels off right here. We're going to take this tray out right here. Just notice I got my rugged radio intercom right there. That's going to be enlightening what's going to happen with that. I think the new fuel tank's going to take up all that the space right there. There's the factory fuel tank, and now the new one's going to come in here. So I don't know what's going to happen with that just yet. As we walk around the car here, show you what else is going to come off here. We got to take this kick panel off on the passenger side also. All these trim pieces here. Glove box is coming out. And again, these top pieces here. So we want to fully expose the fuel tank there to get it out. The seat does not have to come out. It's going to be pretty straightforward once we get it uncovered. So anyway, let's get on to the next part of this. By the way, RPM does have the instructions on their website. I suggest you go there and download them. It's not a Bible. Well, what I mean by that, it's not 1,000 pages long. So it's pretty thorough though, and very detailed pictures. Hopefully this video is going to give you some insight of basically what you're in for on this install. And we'll go from there. All right, let's start getting some of these panels out. Pay no never mind to these wires here. I'm just rerouting some stuff while I'm in here. All right, just want to give you an update, getting the plastics off. There's a lot of plastics. Let me just show you a couple of key things that come to mind on taking these plastics off. So this is what it's going to look like. Basically, every little nut and bolt you see, you want to take it out, right? Just kind of, there's a couple of nuts and bolts in here you'll come across that doesn't look like it's holding down the piece that you're wanting to remove. You do take that off because the piece you want to remove is connected to the piece below it, and that's what these bolts are holding down. So that'll make sense when you get to it. I've got the kick plates, the center console kick plates off, and I got this tray removed. My intercom is in that tray. It doesn't look like that tray is going to be reused, so I will have to figure out what I'm going to do with my intercom. So basically, the next thing, don't mind these wires. You won't have this. This is me. You're going to want to disconnect your fuel line, the electrical to your fuel pump, the vent hose, and then you're ready to drop this out. Before you start disconnecting everything, make sure you blow all these areas off and get everything real nice and clean. So let me do that, and I think we're going to be ready to start dropping this tank here real soon. By the way, guys, this is a good time that if you got some wiring to clean up like I do, to do all this when it's out. The other good thing to do is before you drop this tank, empty it. So I'm gonna get this in here. Oh, stand by. My hose was pulling out on its own. So I got my handy dandy jiggler here. That's what it looks like on the end, if you guys haven't seen one. Works pretty good. And there she goes. All right, so we're gonna get this thing as empty as we can, try to make it as light as possible, and we'll get that thing dropped out of there. Okay, got a few more parts off. I got the filler neck taken off right here. I got the fuel pump disconnected, got the fuel line off, and I got the vent hose off. Make sure you don't break your clip on the fuel line, and there's an extra safety clip on here you don't want to break either, or lose it when you disconnect the fuel pump. Now, here's the straps that physically hold the tank in. So I've got them loosened up here. This side here, we're going to completely remove this carriage bolt to let everything drop out and be a little easier. I'll have to get this held out of the way for me, but we're ready to start dropping the tank. All right, that's what she looks like when she's out. We're going to mess with these bolts here a little bit. We're going to change that up some. Got a nice big hole there. And if you want to know what they look like side by side, quite a bit of difference. Quite a bit. RPM has really taken advantage of every little space they can to increase the capacity of that fuel tank. Looking good. Okay, so since we're using every square inch of the space with the new tank, we're going to take these right here, the nuts on top right now, the bolt heads on the bottom. We're going to flip that around so there's no excess hanging out the top. And so flip that around so the only thing on the top is the bolt head. So we're going to get maximum clearance. Hey, little tip for you. When you turn this bolt around, this strap is going to be freewheeling, and when you tighten the bolt down, then the strap's not going to be able to move. So what I did is I reconnected the strap temporarily up here so it's in the right alignment for when I tighten that bolt. That way when this drops down, it's all good to go. We'll do the same thing over there. Okay, and preparing the tank to install it, if you have some high pressure air or even a leaf blower, blow it out, get whatever debris you can out. And then I'm using some sandwich baggies, or actually a quart bag and a gallon bag, to keep the debris out while I shove this up in there. No doubt there's going to be some dust falling on this, and I don't want it going in the tank. Another side note is when I pulled the stock tank out of here, it was really tight up against the seat. So I'm about to find out if I'm going to have to pull the seat or not, because this, obviously the new tank is bigger. But I'm going to try to get this thing stuffed in there. I'm going to kind of go down at an angle, flip it up, and straight up. Okay, so the tank is dived in there. It's not its final resting spot yet. I just wanted to show you how it went in. So the driver's side of the tank, I dived it down like this and looped it around and came up. I wish I could videotape everything for you, but hopefully you guys get the idea. I'm not all the way in place yet. I still got to rise it up, but I wanted to show you, because this tank is using every last bit of space, you really got to watch your wires being tucked in here, and not only in the center console area where your wires are, but look underneath your driver's dash too. That tank really comes over here. So if you got wires in this area that are tucked or anything, like your push to talks or anything like that, just know that that thing's going to be right there at it. So let's take up every last space there. I'm obviously going to have to remount my intercom somewhere. So now I'm going to work on getting the tank in its final mounting location. And when I do that, I want to show you that you're going to have your straps come up. Do your straps loose, bring it up slowly, check all your lines. Some of these are vacuum lines, some of these are pressure lines, some of these are electrical lines. Check all your lines when you bring this thing up before you get to that final snug. Okay, we got her mostly in position. I got this side started, it was pretty easy. The hardest part is because you have so much tank on that side, there's a lot of weight over there holding things up or holding it down. So I haven't quite got this bolt to line up with the strap yet. But let me show you what I did on the other side here. I had to prop it up with something. So I suggest you kind of do the same thing, find something to prop it up with. So this is just a case that I have for a heat gun. But you see I got it propped underneath the tank right there, holding some weight. A lot of weight on this side because there's so much more of the tank this way now. Another thing you want to look out for is up here, this tank is taking up all this real estate now. So if you've got some wires running through here from accessories or like your radio, or even if you got your Evo tune and you've got your boost signal line and all that kind of stuff, make sure you got all that stuff out of the way. You don't want it to be tucked and pinched off and then you're back in here again later. So I'm going to take some time and I'm going to route some wires here and make it all nice before I give that tank a final tighten. But I am going to get that second strap started so I no longer have to have that case in there propping it up. But it's looking pretty good. The vacuum line right here, or vent line, excuse me, it's lining right up. Everything's right here, looking good. It should all fall into place once I get my wires all tucked out of the way. Okay, I got my strap started here, so both straps are started. The tank is pretty much falling into place. I haven't cinched it up yet because I want to work on these areas. I've got a lot of accessories in here, so I want to make sure none of my wires are pinched. And that's going to take me a little while. I suggest you guys, take your time, kind of do the same. If you guys have this big tank, more likely you got E85, so you're running that boost reference tube and stuff, you want to make sure you don't pinch that thing off. Take care of your stuff here. Don't know yet what I'm going to do with the intercom, but you can see a lot of space taken up right there. But once I get this thing tucked in, I'll be able to tuck my wires. Plus, with the other projects I had going on, I'm moving some switches that were here over to the center console. Unless I can get my heated seats or something to tie into my switch panel there. I don't know, but it's going to take me a little while to do that part. But so far you get the gist of it, what's going on. And in a jiffy, we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? We are back. Yeah, I had some more power outages, got some weather around here. Oh, there's the old tank. There's the old tank. It's missing a bunch of stuff over here that the new tank has. So let's see where we are. We're partly back together. I got some plastics on and so on. Some of these plastics are going to be off a little bit because I'm going to be doing some rerouting and some wiring that I was going to do anyway. But I wanted to show you how it's looking here. So, got all the plastics fit back in there, no problem. Here is the tank. We're looking at the tank right there. And remember the intercom, and you guys might have your intercoms like this too. So my intercom is mounted in that tray. So what I did is I took the rugged mount off and lowered the intercom down inside that tray, and I'm able to leave the intercom in there. Hopefully that makes sense. So this used to be all open right here and the intercom set up high. Now the intercom's down there low. I've got it secured to the bottom of the tray. I got some drain holes. This is a double wall here. I've got some drain holes in there, so if water gets in and whatnot, it'll drain. Let's go around the other side. See what the other side looks like. Can't wait to get this thing back together. I gotta drive this thing soon. So this side, this is all me. I've got some routing to do. I got my Ferminator wiring, I got my push to talk, I got my just extra wiring here I got to tuck around. But again, here's the tank, here's the tank. The tank's going to be right above my foot right here. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but this used to be all open. Now there's a tank right there. Again, here's the intercom down inside there. No issues with that. So again, I'm just kind of tucking some wires, kind of cleaning up some things. But overall, it's going good. It's going really good. So I'm going to get some more plastics on there, do some more wiring, and we'll get this video finished up. It's going to take me just a little bit longer to finish up this video because what I want to do is I want to put fuel in the tank and show you how the gauge reads as I fill it up. All right, we are making some progress. This is because I'm rerouting some wires that I needed to be doing anyway. But I got my kick panels back on. I got my push talk, my Ferminator. Just kind of working on that. Took me a little while, but that's on me. I moved a couple of switches over to here, had to punch a couple holes. Just, you know, some riffraff stuff, has nothing to do with the fuel tank. I got to put a screw in there. Yeah, getting her buttoned up, getting things up here. Again, I'm just tightening up some other things on here. But I do need to show you something. I did run across a clearance issue, and it's probably on me, but I wanted to show you guys so you think about this going ahead. So here's the stock tank. It would appear that the replacement tank, this area for the fuel pump, might be molded in a little bit this way. That, or when I installed the tank, I got the tank pushed too far this way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So on the top of the tank, put my fuel pump back in. I ran into clearance issues right here. There is this little piece of plastic stuck out, and I had a hard time getting this on. So I just took my blade and my utility knife, and this cut off real easy. Once I cut that off, this screwed on pretty easy. You can see it's really tight up against, this ain't moving. So it's not tight yet. But so the tank, when I installed it, I might have it pushed all the way this way. So just be mindful when you put it in. You might install your fuel pump first, and that might force you to have some clearance. But when you tighten up the straps of the fuel pump, just make sure you got the tank pushed that way. I had the tank probably too far to the passenger side, and that's why I had that clearance issue. But no big deal. I just cut off that little plastic ear, and I'm getting the fuel pump back on. So let me finish buttoning this up. All right. Okay, so let me tell you where we are now. We got it all done. We're all buttoned up. The only thing I've not done, is I haven't buttoned up this area because I want to check for fuel leaks. But everything's all tied up here. You see some extra wiring because I have this relay because I have an Evo tune. As a matter of fact, at the same time doing this, I was reflashing the car. But anyway, so I got 2 gas cans that, well, actually I have 4. I have 2 here. I have 2 over there. So I went down to the fueling station, and according to the pump, I put exactly 5 gallons in each can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, as I put in every 5 gallons, I'm going to show you what the fuel gauge reads. So as you can see, fuel light's on, I got no fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 gallons in, come back here, and show you how much fuel it has. Okay, first 5 gallons in. Let's see how much the gauge is reading now. You don't have to put the gas cap back on each time. I just had a fly buzzing around there. So I didn't want a stupid fly to get inside. So let's fire it up. In typical Can Am fashion, 5 gallons, we're showing right about half a tank. Fuel light's off, that's a good thing. All right, let's put 5 more gallons in to bring us up to 10. Okay, I just put in another 5 gallons, so we have a total of 10 gallons in the tank. Let's see what we have here. Okay, well, 10 gallons, and it's showing full. So what's that mean? You're gonna have about 9 gallons you're gonna burn before it comes off of full. But we'll keep going. So next thing is gonna be 15 gallons. I'm not gonna see any difference in the gauge, but you never know, maybe the float's stuck. Okay, so we have 15 gallons in the tank. Took it no problem, not trying to come out or anything. So we know already it's gonna hold more fuel than it did stock. So let's fire the ignition. And surprise, surprise, we're showing full. Of course, we showed full at 10 gallons. But what I'm gonna do next is my last can has 5 gallons in it. I'm gonna try to pour 1 gallon out and take this thing down to, take the can down to 4 gallons and see if I can get a full 19 gallons in here. Incidentally, I just fired the car real quick because I had been running this whole time. I just want to show you the Evo tune on Flex. I'm showing it's bouncing back and forth because the fuel lines were empty, but it was going between 7 and 20. Now it's starting to settle. It's probably going to settle about 15 because California fuel has at least 10% ethanol in it, and I'm putting 91 in here right now. So the car's getting warmed up stuff too, but anyway, just a little side note. Oh, and by the way, here we are settled down about 9 to 10. You can see that. Sorry about the glare. Again, that's because California fuel has 10% ethanol in it. So the flex fuel, the gauge and everything, it's working. It's right. Okay, ladies and gents. Like I said, I started this off by taking these fuel cans down to the fuel station and using the gauge on the pump. I put 5 gallons exactly in each can. This one I took 1 gallon out. Who knows how accurate these cans are, but here's a 4 right here. So you can see we're just slightly below the 4. So for all you math wizards out there, what's 5, 5, 5, and 4? 19. How many gallons does RPM say this holds? 19. So I'm gonna see if I can get it in there without spilling fuel all over my new wrap. All right, let's see how we do. I got my little flashlight here. Hopefully I can see if it starts getting full. I don't want to spill fuel on my wrap. It's taking it. Oh. All right, that's it. Whew. That's close. See there? We're at the top. I spilled just a tiny bit. So we started with an absolutely empty fuel tank. And again, we're going off of what the fuel pump at the station says and what the little lines on these tanks say. So I tried to put 19 gallons in. According to this, I have 1 gallon left. So 18 gallons. Is 18 the same as 19? No. Is 18 bigger than 12 or 13? I think Can Am advertises it to be at like 13.1. I bought this car at the Sand Show in 2023, and it actually ran out of fuel, taking it out to the parking lot in the trailer. I went to the fuel station and I couldn't get over 12.5 gallons in it. So I don't think I would believe Can Am when they say you can put 13 gallons. If you guys got 13 gallons in yours, comment below if you have. So the most I could ever get before was a little over 12 gallons. Now I've gotten every bit of 18 gallons in there. That's a positive. That's a positive. I mean, that's at least 60 more miles of dune riding, maybe 80, 90 more miles of desert riding, especially if you're in normal mode. If you're in Sport Plus with E85, another 30, 50 miles, whatever. So I'm gonna try to button up, well, I'm gonna check a few things, see if I have any leaks, and we'll close out this video. Oh, by the way, we should probably check the gauge for the sake of being consistent. It showed full before, but now we got 18 gallons in there. What do we show? We show full. I know you guys weren't surprised. So, awesome guys, thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to putting a lot of dune miles on this thing this year with the E85, and got the big fuel tank, so I should be able to run all day long. You know, if I babied it from the washes to Dooner's Diner and back, I could make that if I babied it. Now I could take some detours, maybe hit China on the way, swing set, flagpole, all that kind of stuff. So again, hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I hope these videos help you guys. I get a lot of positive responses, but please let me know if this helps you. It really keeps me enthused in doing these videos, and letting you guys know what you're in for. You know, it's always, I go there. I want to know what I'm in for before I do an upgrade. Even if it's simple, you know, there could be a little thing here and there. So awesome. Like, comment, subscribe, share with the friends, tell your neighbors, tell your church. Hoover Maneuvers. Thanks guys. We'll see you in the next video.